What better birthday gift could there possibly be than marrying the love of your life? That's exactly what Modern Family star Eric Stonestreet just pulled off. A surprise wedding that no one saw coming, and the timing couldn't have been more perfect. On the very same day he turned 54, Eric said, "I do," to longtime love Lindsay Schweitzer, leaving fans both stunned and overjoyed. For years, audiences knew Eric as the larger-than-life Cameron Tucker, half of one of television's most beloved couples. We laughed at his dramatic outbursts, his over-the-top plans, and of course, his heartwarming chemistry with on-screen husband Mitchell. But while fans obsessed over Cam's hilarious love life, Eric's real-world romance was quietly unfolding behind the scenes. Now, after a 4-year engagement and nearly a decade of love, Eric decided to share his happiest moment with the world. But the wedding wasn't just about vows and rings. It was about a journey, from his humble beginnings in Kansas to Emmy-winning success to finding a partner who kept him grounded through it all. The question is, how did Eric go from TV husband to real-life newlywed? Let's find out. Eric Stonestreet's story begins far from the glitz of Hollywood, in the heart of Kansas. Born and raised in Kansas City, Eric grew up in a tight-knit, middle-class family with no immediate ties to show business. In fact, his earliest dream wasn't to be a famous actor at all. As a kid, he wanted to be a clown. Yes, a real clown. He even performed at children's parties under the name Fizbo, a quirky passion that would come full circle years later in the most unexpected way. After high school, Eric studied sociology at Kansas State University. But it was in theater classes that his natural comedic timing and knack for performance truly started to shine. Encouraged by friends and professors, he packed his bags and headed to Chicago, where he trained in improv at the legendary Second City. It was there he began sharpening the quick wit and larger-than-life personality that would eventually make him a household name. Before Modern Family, Eric carved out a steady career as a character actor. He popped up in hit shows like ER, Bones, and even CSI, often playing tough guys or quirky side characters. But behind those smaller roles was a performer waiting for the perfect part, one that could finally showcase both his humor and his heart. That opportunity arrived in 2009, when Eric landed the role of Cameron Tucker on Modern Family. And little did he know, this character, flamboyant, hilarious, and deeply lovable, would not only earn him 2 Emmy Awards, but also change the landscape of TV comedy forever. When Modern Family premiered in 2009, nobody could have predicted just how big it would become. Within months, the show exploded into one of the most talked-about sitcoms of the decade, winning viewers over with its sharp writing, hilarious characters, and surprisingly heartfelt moments. And right at the center of that success was Eric Stonestreet, who transformed Cameron Tucker into one of TV's most iconic personalities. Cam was bold, theatrical, and outrageously funny, but he was also layered with warmth and vulnerability. Audiences couldn't get enough of his over-the-top meltdowns and his flair for the dramatic. But what made Cam truly unforgettable was his on-screen partnership with Jesse Tyler Ferguson, who played Mitchell. The two created a dynamic so natural and believable that fans often forgot they weren't a real couple. Behind the scenes, Eric and Jesse's friendship only fueled their chemistry. Jesse has joked that Eric was always the loud, jokester energy on set, while he balanced it out with his calmer presence. That mix not only gave us endless comedy gold, but also helped shape one of television's first mainstream portrayals of a same-sex couple raising a child. Cam and Mitchell's storyline was groundbreaking. At a time when LGBTQ+ representation was still limited on network TV, their relationship normalized same-sex marriage and parenthood for millions of households worldwide. Eric's performance earned him 2 Primetime Emmy Awards and cemented his reputation as one of television's funniest and most important actors of the era. But while fans adored watching Cam navigate life with Mitchell, Eric's own life was unfolding off-screen in a way that was far quieter and far more private. And that's where Lindsay Schweitzer enters the picture. While Eric Stonestreet was busy making millions laugh as Cam Tucker, his real-life love story was quietly beginning in a much more ordinary setting. In 2016, Eric attended a charity event in Kansas City, the kind of night filled with polite conversations handshakes, and community spirit. But among the crowd, he met someone who would completely change his life: Lindsay Schweitzer. Lindsay wasn't part of the Hollywood scene. She wasn't an actress, a producer, or even remotely connected to the entertainment industry. She was a pediatric nurse, grounded, compassionate, and dedicated to helping children. To Eric, who'd spent years surrounded by cameras and the chaos of Hollywood fame, Lindsay's down-to-earth personality was refreshing. She didn't care about the spotlight, the awards, or the red carpets. What mattered to her was kindness, humor, and authenticity. Their chemistry was instant, but not in the flashy, tabloid-worthy way you'd expect from a celebrity romance. Friends who watched them together described them as opposites that just clicked. Eric, with his larger-than-life humor, could always make her laugh, while Lindsay's calm and steady nature balanced his energy. She grounded him in a way no one else ever had. By 2017, Eric was openly talking about Lindsay in interviews, often joking about how she kept him in check. Fans noticed that he seemed happier, more settled, and maybe even more grown up. And behind the laughter, their bond continued to deepen. Then, in 2021, after 5 years together, Eric decided it was time to make things official. He popped the question, and Lindsay said yes, sparking a wave of congratulations and excitement online. But the engagement was only the beginning of a love story that fans would watch closely for years. When Eric Stonestreet announced his engagement to Lindsay Schweitzer in 2021, fans erupted with joy. The Instagram post, featuring a glowing Lindsay showing off her new ring and Eric flashing his trademark grin, quickly racked up thousands of likes and comments. His Modern Family co-stars flooded the comment section with love, and Jesse Tyler. Ferguson joked that he wasn't crying, just sweating through his eyes. It was a feel-good moment that made headlines everywhere. But then, something interesting happened. Months turned into years, and there was no wedding news. Some fans began to wonder if the couple was waiting for the right moment, while others speculated that maybe Eric simply wasn't in a rush. After all, both he and Lindsay seemed content in their long-term commitment. The truth was far simpler. Like many couples, their plans were affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Between travel restrictions, safety concerns, and Eric's busy schedule, with various projects, tying the knot immediately just wasn't realistic. And Lindsay, ever the calm presence, wasn't focused on the spotlight. She wanted their wedding to feel right, not rushed. In the meantime, the couple gave fans glimpses of their life together through social media. Eric's Instagram became a blend of comedy and love, often posting lighthearted jokes about their relationship. Whether it was teasing Lindsay about her patience, sharing sweet photos from family gatherings, or poking fun at himself as the lucky guy, the posts always radiated warmth. Their bond was clear, and fans admired how genuine it all felt. Still, the question lingered. When would the big day finally come? After 4 years of anticipation, Eric and Lindsay answered in the most spectacular way possible, with a surprise wedding announcement that left the internet buzzing. And it wasn't just any wedding day. It came with an unforgettable twist. After years of waiting, Eric Stonestreet and Lindsay Schweitzer finally tied the knot, and the details were nothing short of magical. The couple chose Kansas City, Eric's hometown, for their big day, keeping the celebration close to his roots. It wasn't an over-the-top Hollywood spectacle with flashing cameras and tabloid frenzy. Instead, it was intimate, heartfelt, and perfectly them. Eric looked sharp in a tailored navy suit paired with a soft blue tie, striking just the right balance of classic and modern. Lindsay absolutely glowed in her elegant white gown, a timeless look that reflected her understated beauty. Together, they were the picture of happiness as they walked hand in hand into the next chapter of their lives. But perhaps the most unforgettable moment came during their first dance. Instead of a DJ blasting a chart-topping hit, the couple was serenaded by a group of acoustic guitarists, filling the room with warm, soulful music. It set the tone for an evening that was less about spectacle and more about love, laughter, and connection. And as if the day wasn't already special enough, it also happened to be Eric's 54th birthday. For most people, birthdays are about cake and presents. But for Eric, this year, the ultimate gift was marrying the woman he'd been waiting for. Friends say he didn't mind sharing the spotlight. In fact, he loved it. The ceremony was private, but once Eric shared the news online, the flood of reactions was immediate. And of course, some of the loudest cheers came from his Modern family. The moment Eric Stonestreet dropped his wedding news, the congratulations started pouring in, and leading the charge was his longtime on-screen husband Jesse Tyler Ferguson. With his trademark wit, Jesse left a cheeky but heartfelt message. "Of all second marriages, this one is my favorite. I love you both. I'm so happy for you.